So welcome again everyone, and in this video we will talk about variables and data types in Python. Let's create a new file over here. So there are different data types to work with and different values to work with in Python. The first type of value we can work with is strings. So strings are like texts. I've already shown you that thing. A text can be written with single quote or double quote or triple quote. There are different meanings for these different quotes. We can use single quote or double quote to mention a string, like CodeCore Academy. This is a text. I've written it with by using a single quote with single quotes, and you can also write text we using double quote also, like my name. Sorry, there will be no 5. Yeah, so this is also a text and this is also a text. So if you are using single quote or double quote, you will create a text, you will mention a text. So we can also write numbers within double quotes, so this will also mean we are writing a text. But this is not the actual syntax to write a value. I will show that thing, but first I want to talk to you about different data types. Now there will be some numbers. So the first type of numbers are integers. Those are int type of values. Integers are whole numbers, so you can write any whole number. This is an integer number, this is also an integer number. We can also write real numbers or floating point values. Those are like this, these are real numbers. Okay, so we can work with these different values, these different types of values. And there is also another value which is known as Boolean value. So a Boolean value, actually there is only two values that can be Boolean. Those are true and false. These two are two different Boolean values. Now I will not explain this thing right now. We will work with Boolean in later videos, and I will show you how to work with Boolean values. And there is also a value which is known as none. This means nothing. If we want to write nothing, if we want to assign a value which is nothing, we will write none. And now in these two things, Boolean and none, I will talk about these things later in the later videos. Okay, now let's write a real program with these different values. Let's create another file. So in this program I will do the very basic thing. I will add two different numbers and print their addition result. So let's create a variable. Now what is a variable? This is actually a variable is, you can think about a container. The variable is like a container that can contain any value. A equal to 10. In mathematics we know that equal to sign is known as this equal to sign works as mentioning that the value of A is equal to value of 10. But in programming, in any programming language, the equal to sign works as an assignment operator. This is an assignment operator. That means this is assigning value 10 inside the variable A, which is like a container that will contain this number, and this container can contain one number at a time, one value at a time. Actually, a value can be a number or any text or anything else. So we can create another variable. Let's say 20. Yeah, 20 is also a value that is inside this variable b. Now we will add these two variables by writing c equal to a plus b. Now obviously you know that plus is an operator. This addition operator is adding these two values which are inside variable a and variable b, and after adding these two values, the value will be inserted, the value will be assigned in this variable c, and then we can print the variable c. Now I have not used any single quote like in my previous video. I have only written c. Now this will print the value of c. In here, if I have written c in quotes, the text c would have been printed, but I don't want to print the text c. I want to print the value inside the variable c. That's why I have not used any quotes, single or double. So let's run this thing. Go to run and run module. Let's click on OK to save this thing and run this thing. Now we can save it as add. Click on save. Now we can see that our program is giving a result. This result is 30, which is the addition result of these two values. Okay, so that's how the basic mathematical operator can work. So just like these integer values, we can also work with floating type values that are real numbers in Python. We can also write 10.67. We can also write here 20.84, 84, and we can add these two values and print them, print the data, print the result. Let's run this. So you can see the result. Now we can also add two different strings, but how to work with strings, I will show you everything about strings in later videos, not now. We can also print the result like this. The addition result is c. So this value will be printed first, then the value of c will be printed. Let's run. Okay, the addition result is this. We can show the result as we like this, like the way I've shown you. Now I have used a, b and c, these three different variables, as variable names. You can use any variable name you wish, like you can use any English word, any word as a variable name, but keep in mind there are some rules. You cannot use any reserved words in Python as a variable name. Some reserved words I have already shown you, like true, false, and int, and float. These are actually reserved words. You cannot use these reserved words as variable names. These reserved words convey special meaning to the compiler, so that's why you cannot use these as a variable name. So this is the first rule. The second rule is you cannot start a variable name with a digit. Like you cannot write 71a as a variable name. This is not actually the rule to name a variable. You can use digits in a variable name, but you cannot start with a digit. This is an invalid variable name. The valid variable name will be a71. This is a valid variable name. Okay. Now the third rule is you cannot use any special symbol in a variable name other than underscore. Now you cannot use hash or this operator or this operator or as bracket in a variable name, because these are different operators. These are different symbols, work as different operators in Python. You cannot use these operators or symbol in a variable name, but you can use underscore in a variable name. We can write a variable name like this. We can write a variable name like this also. We can use underscores, but we cannot use any other symbols in a variable name in Python. Okay, these three rules we have to keep in our mind. So this was all about variables and how to declare variables, how to work with variables and different types, different value types. Now in the later videos I will talk about operators and expressions. Okay, till then, have a good day.